Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here. Well, today's the day. I'm gonna be ranking every single Disney live-action remake and ranking them from worst to the best. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Now, I'm gonna do something a little different. As far as anyone remembers, I did a kind of a tier list thing in my 2024 movies ranking. So I'm gonna do something similar but different. I'm gonna be doing a tier list from the worst of the worst to the best of the best. So, what I consider the worst of the worst is insulting to the original. It pretty much does the same as the original, but with none of the magic. Or does something incomprehensibly stupid. It just outright annoys me. This is the forgettable tier. These are the remakes that I just totally forgot wasn't even a thing, or I don't remember a single thing about it, even after I've watched it once. This is the passable tier. It's 50-50. Some of it is good, and some of it's horrendous. Or, it's just whatever. This is the good tier. Somewhat actually not bad. A bit bland in some cases, but overall, somewhat good. And it has a few multiple changes or gorgeous spectacle that I somewhat like. This is the decent tier. These are the ones that I found myself really liking. Not as good as the original, but somewhat fun. And here we got perfect like the original. And this one is going to be rare. But these are the remakes that I consider just as good as the original. Not better than the original, just as good. And I'll give you a hint. There are only 2 movies on there that are on the top of that list. Yes, 2. Not 1, 2. So keep that in mind. So, without any further ado, let's find out what I consider the worst Disney live-action remake to date. What I consider the worst remake of all time goes to... I mean, come on. Aren't we really that not surprised at this point? Well, the other 23 entries have one thing that this doesn't. The title. Some of the remakes can be bad, but at least they're not lying to their audience. Look at the title. Does she remotely look like Snow White? Oh, and that's all I'm gonna say about how it lies to its audience. And let's just say, the acting in this is horrendous. Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, and pretty much the entire cast. Everyone kudos to these actors, -1, and I think you know who I'm talking about. And I think we all know who we're talking about here. God bless them, but man, do the characters are one-note and bland. Oh, do we have to mention how ugly the dwarfs look? What the hell were they thinking? And pretty forgettable songs. I can't even remember a single one. I mean, the whole place looks ugly, the story's nonsensical. Oh, and I'm not gonna go into the behind-the-scenes stuff, but not only does the title lie to you, the story lies to you. I'm not gonna delve deep into that. I might put it down in the description below. I don't know. But everything about this movie just fucking sucks. And I've only watched it a couple of hours ago. But I consider it the absolute worst of the worst. Is there anything in this movie I liked? Except one thing. Okay. I'm not ranted too much on song numbers. I will get to the later entries later. But there's one that I think is so laughably bad, I couldn't stop laughing. The villain song. Gal Gadot, God bless you, but man, do you make that musical number somewhat memorable. Probably the best part of the movie. It's kind of like The Room. Yeah, the Tommy Wiseau movie. It's so bad, it's good. The one good theme from this garbage-ass remake is the villain song. And it's just so fun. But yeah, this remake is terrible, and I consider it the absolute worst remake that I've seen. And we're just barely scraping the surface. And we all know where that's going. On the bottom of the bottom tier. Truly insulting. I mean, who honestly cares that it made money? It still blows. What I hate about remakes is when they shot for shot retell it. It's pretty much the original, just in live action and someone more bland. And I totally get the smart move they did by bringing back the original Mufasa. That was somewhat done better than the original. Now, unlike the later entry, I will get to that, this one is just so goddamn boring. It's line for line, shot for shot. Just with less magic involved. Oh, and they butchered Be Prepared. Do I need to say more? And nothing against the actors, but they make the characters so goddamn boring, I can't even remember a single thing I remember about them. But the one thing this tops Snow White is Timon and Pumbaa. I generally like the characters in the remake. They were very fun in the original, but in the remake, still the same, but still fun. But that's all I've got to say about this remake. Like I said, we're barely scraping the surface, and this remake is still garbage. I don't care if it's the biggest, one of the highest grossing movies of all time, it still sucks. And it's not the last time we'll talk about this quote-unquote franchise. And we all know where that's gonna go. I mean, we've got 3 more entries with the bottom tier, and we're just barely scraping the surface. Same with The Lion King. It's shot for shot, but it feels somehow longer and more boring. And yeah, that's just gonna be a motif here. Again, no kudos to the actors. They all try what they did, but the biggest issues is the main character herself. God bless you, Emma Watson, but you are not Belle, and you are a terrible singer. Again, you're a good actor, but singing isn't one of them. I am so sorry. And I mean, it's just so bland. I mean, they totally butchered the romance here. I mean, I feel nothing for their romance. And the stuff they add just makes no sense. Belle could have escaped the entire time, and yet she doesn't. I mean, even Gaston is stupid in this one. I mean, he was a big jerk, but he was funny. This one is not. Oh, and the musical sequences, there is one good song in there, sung by the Beast, and Dan Stevens does fine with what he was given. And the one good scene in the movie is with Maurice. He sings a beautiful little melody that actually was sweet. And probably the only good scene in the movie. But the rest of it is just bad. The romance is boring, the villain is boring, the village and the castle just look nothing like the original. At least the original had life run into it. The movie was nominated for Best Picture, for God's sake. But the remake just makes... it makes me turn off this movie and go watch the original instead. It's just poorly paced, boring, and just does nothing. Just nothing. Need we say more? Yeah, it was about time we talked about this one. I mean, was anybody asking for a prequel to an already garbage movie? I mean, I just talked about 2 entries ago. I mean, the only cool thing that goes for it is the Brothers song. That was not half bad. It felt a really good connection. But everything else, oh boy. I don't like how Taka and Mufasa aren't actually brothers. They're adopted. I don't know. The story was very confusing. Oh, and did I mention Mufasa is kind of a dick? I mean, he tries to set up Taka with this girl that he likes, but he ends up taking her for himself. Kind of a dick move. And you got these cubs trying to fight the brothers, and after one scratch, Taka's like, not only am I changing my name to Scar, I'm gonna be the bad guy. I mean, we all know how the story's gonna turn out, so why did we need this? I don't know. But this movie is just boring. Even a friend of mine told me he walked out of a screening thinking it was the most boring thing he saw last year. And who could honestly blame him? Who could honestly blame anyone? I mean, you think the remake was bad? Try the prequel. Nobody asked for it, and we can see why. It just looked ugly. Sorry to people who love Africa, but the Africa in both of these movies just looks so boring. Yeah, don't worry, we got one more entry on the bottom tier. What the hell were they thinking with this one? They've changed everything about the character of Mulan. We all remember Mulan the original, somewhat ditzy, tomboyish, and she learned to grow as a character. And she became a badass at the end. Hell, she even got a sweet romance with Shang. What do we do about this one in the remake? Or make her a badass and just more bland. Oh, and she has chi. She has magical superpowers. What? No! Just no. Oh, and they removed Mushu, which I get if you want to make it greedy or more realistic, but there's a shapeshifter out there. And that somehow makes it better? No! No! And the whole story is just nonsensical. But there are 2 things in it that I really liked, and hence why it's not lower on the list. Jason Scott Lee's performance as the bad guy, and the action sequences. I think it's pretty fun. The action sequences actually kick major ass. Honestly, my favorite scene in the movie is between Mulan and the bad guy. Honestly, that was pretty good. But nevertheless, this remake is so bad. The main character is bland, and they ruined her. Oh, and the shape-shifting stuff, totally damn stupid. And chi is a superpower? Bullcrap. So yeah, pretty terrible movie. But if you just want to skip to the action sequences, it gives you that at least. But still, comparing it to the original, still goddamn insulting. Okay, now we've gone from the bottom 5 worst movies. So, now we got the forgettable tier. These are the movies that I've totally forgotten about. And let's kick off with... I know some of you are confused. They remake Fantasia? Kind of. Okay, let me explain. Fantasia is an anthology movie that compiles different stories, and one of them is the Mickey Mouse short, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And this is what this movie. Pretty much, they took that one short and expanded it into a full-length movie. And I forgot it existed. I mean, it's a Nicolas Cage movie. How can I forget that? I mean, the guy's an icon, but he's so bland in this. Oh, and Jay Baruchel's in this. I mean, I love you as Hiccup, man, but man, the character you play is so goddamn boring. Oh, and the love interest is there. I've forgotten what her name was. I mean, the story is muddled and all over the place. It feels like they propelled this into a franchise, but squeezed it all into an hour-and-a-half movie. Now, the reason why this is only at number 19 and not lower, a couple of things. The magic effects look pretty good, and I like Alfred Molina as the secondary antagonist. He was surprisingly fun. And I like his interaction with Nick Cage. Still, I've forgotten it exists, and it wastes its main star. Nicolas Cage, you deserve so much better. So yeah, not insulting, but pretty forgettable. Yeah. I mean, given the amount of live-action Peter Pan movies, the 2003 one, the horror film Neverland, honestly, I'd rather watch the horror adaptation than this again. At least the horror adaptation, I remember it. It was dark, brooding, and I'll get more into that once I, Actually, if you want a more alleged detail of Peter Pan Nightmare on Neverland, go read my review on it. But, Peter Pan and Wendy, I forgot this was even a thing. Now again, there's been a couple of adaptations, the 2003 movie and Pan. At least Pan I actually somewhat remember. Peter Pan and Wendy, not so much. I mean, they race swap some of the characters. Tinkerbell's there, but they do nothing. I think this version of Peter Pan is probably the least memorable. At least, again, the one from the horror adaptation was memorable. Or, Levi Miller's was fine. But this one, not so much. Oh, and they waste Jude Law as Hook. I mean, the one in Pan was bad in any other times, but this one was just... bleh. Honestly, I can't remember a single thing about this movie. All except for one scene where they talk about Peter Pan's connection to Hook. And I have to say it's a well-acted scene. Probably the best in the movie, and probably the most thing I remember about it. So yeah, probably the most forgettable adaptation of this movie. And we all know where that goes. Honestly, do we really need to go delve deep about this one? It's pretty much live-action animals from the original. That's mostly it. Oh, and with the last entry, they race swap some of the cast. It adds nothing to it. Nothing. This is pretty much going to be a short entry, because after watching it, I've forgotten about it. Except for one scene, again, is the scene where Tramp is left behind by his owner. It's actually kind of interesting. Interesting change to add to his character. But apart from that, I don't remember anything. Nothing. And that's probably going to be a motif later on down the list. Yeah. We all know where that goes. And given there's been 3 Pinocchio adaptations, 3, all released in 2022, we've got the Guillermo del Toro version, the Pauly Shore version, and the Disney one. Guess which one is the most forgettable? It's the Disney one. At least with Guillermo del Toro's one, he did some changes that was beautiful to look at. Pauly Shore's ones was batshit crazy and a little annoying at times. The Disney one, there's so much here. I honestly don't know where to begin. I mean, Pinocchio is surprisingly not bad. I thought he would look ugly as I was going to watch, but he's surprisingly not bad. But Tom Hanks is terrible as Geppetto. Nothing against the actor, he is a great actor. But man is he just not right. I mean, what is this acting? I don't know. I guess he wasn't in the right mindset, or he wasn't given any direction. Oh yeah, and this was directed by Robert Zemeckis, the guy behind the Back to the Future trilogy. Yeah, the guy who made Marty McFly and Doc Brown an icon directed this. What the hell happened? And the reason why it's at the middle of the list is down at the bottom is I kind of like the gorgeous look of Pleasure Island. It's surprisingly gorgeous. And I like Pinocchio's connection with the ballerina character. Yeah, there was kind of an add-on character, and she was not bad. I kind of like this sweet chemistry, but that's all there is to it, really. I mean, it's pretty much the same except for the ending where Pinocchio doesn't become a boy, he stays a puppet. What? Yeah, you can figure that one out. So overall, not the worst, but it could be more memorable. And given that the Guillermo del Toro one is the best one, that says a lot. Do we need to say more? Alright. Next up is... Okay, now we're getting to the 50-50 tier. Now, when I was going into this movie, I was expecting to absolutely hate it. But as the movie went on, it's actually not bad. Okay, so I'll get the bad stuff out of the way. How they make Cruella turn back into her crazy old self, her turn next into the Big Ben clock tower. Okay, that is goddamn stupid. Oh, and Eric Idle as a parrot who thinks is a dog. Seriously, Eric Idle, I love you, man, but can you tell that parrot to shut its beak? Okay, rant over. The rest of the stuff is really good. The dog actors do great. I kind of like the sweet romance between the dog owner and Cruella's what do they call them? Attorney, a parole officer. Kind of a sweet romance here and there. And Glenn Close, my god, you think she was crazy in the first movie? She's outright batshit insane in this one. She's an absolute delight, and she carries the whole movie up until the very end. She gives once again a fantastic performance, and we'll be talking more about her later on. Unfortunately, it's not in this video directly, but she will be talked about. Don't worry. So yeah. Not entirely forgettable, but very passable. So yeah, I see it as kind of a guilty pleasure. So let's continue with... Now, a lot of people would have put this at the lowest of the low. Yes, we all know the controversy of a black actor playing as Ariel. But I actually do like this version of Ariel. Now, most people would have said when I talked about Snow White, you're hating on a Latina playing as Snow White, and yet this black chick gets a pass. Here's the thing. In that Snow White remake, it's a freaking lie. In The Little Mermaid, yes, race changing could be something different. At least it does something different and does not lie to you in the goddamn title! Sorry, rant over. But I see this movie as somewhere down the middle now. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Hailey Bailey as Ariel, her acting is actually pretty good. Her singing, shall we say, angelic. Honestly, if you just listen to it just by audio, she's like an opera singer with their singing performance. I'm glad, finally, they're actually hiring singers in their Disney live-action remakes. Why the hell aren't we doing this more? She is downright freaking gorgeous. Her version of Part of My World is beautiful. And I like in this remake, they give her more songs, because hell, when you got a singer in your movie, you damn well use her. Her duet with Sebastian in Under the Sea is surprisingly good. And I like her new song when she's a human. I've forgotten the name of the song, but it's pretty well done. I like her little romance with Eric. It's surprisingly sweet. And John Howard King does great. Particularly his song as well. Okay, so that's pretty much the positives. Let's get into the bad stuff. Oh, actually, before I get into the bad stuff, Sebastian Flander and Scuttle, who's voiced by Awkwafina, they're fine. Okay, so let's get into the bad stuff. King Triton and Ursula. King Triton, played by Javier Bardem. God bless you, man, but King Triton is somewhat bland and actually kind of cruel. I mean, he shows no emotion on what he's done. Nothing. And it's pretty damn bad. Gene, I thought the king in the original was cruel, but at least he had some humanity. And Ursula, what the hell have they done to Melissa McCarthy? Sweet, you were the queen of comedy back in the 2010s. What the hell happened to you? Again, nothing against you, but your portrayal of Ursula, I don't know what that is. Oh, do we have to mention that that Poor Unfortunate Souls is completely butchered? No? Well, I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I don't buy the creepiness and fun the original version did with Pat Carroll. So yeah, this remake is passable. The villains and the father figure are terrible, while the main character, the chemistry, and the musical numbers are pretty well done. Except Poor Unfortunate Souls, that one still sucks. I mean, give notes to the director. He did direct Chicago, so he knows how to direct a musical number at least. So yeah, not the worst. So come on, give it a chance. So I put it in the passable. Before any of you put down in the comments saying, how dare you put this movie this high? Hear me out. It's in the same line as The Little Mermaid. Half of it is good, and some of it is insultingly bad. Okay, so let me get into the good stuff. I like the actress that plays Lilo. She is downright adorable. She is such a sweet character, and I love this portrayal in the remake. She looks like she's having fun, and I generally find that sweet. The Hawaiian saying is surprisingly fun. It makes me feel like I want to go to Hawaii. And I like Chris Saunders' returning performance as Stitch. Yeah, remember when I said back in the Lion King entry that they tried this tactic of trying to bring back original actors. Well, they did it again here. And while the Lion King was bad, this one is pretty good. I mean, for one, he feels like the original Stitch, just 23 years later. Oh, and speaking of Stitch, the CGI they made to bring him to life is surprisingly good. I like it. I mean, it made me feel like I can touch him somewhat. Okay, so Nani is fine. The ending is good. Not bad, but good. And we need to say the bad stuff. While Stitch's the effects on Stitch is good, the one on Peakley and the Doctor, good freaking God! What the hell were they on when they decided that this looked good? Oh, do we have to mention that there's no Captain Gaza in this version, and we've got the Doctor as the main antagonist? This is a terrible change, and whoever thought about it, you need to go elsewhere. Seriously, whoever thought of that? What? Nothing against the actor who plays the Doctor in this version, but my bloody Jesus, shut up! You are not funny, you are not scary, I want to punch you, shut up! So overall, this remake isn't 100% bad. It's passable. Just skip the scenes with Peakley and the Doctor, and you'll feel better for it. And it's going into the passable tier. Okay, so that's part 1. I hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I can make more videos like this. You'll get part 2 later on in the day, somewhere in the afternoon, but rest assured, part 2 of this video will be coming back. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.